2014, Captain America: The Winter Soldier was released in theaters by Marvel Studios as part of the second phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Depicted in the film was the character Brock Rumlow, whom was introduced into the films as a SHIELD agent but secretly loyal to the Hydra terrorist organization. The character Brock Rumlow was actually reacted to favorably by critics and fans due to the fact that in The Winter Soldier, Rumlow fought against Sam Wilson, and this fight was considered to be one of the most climactic confrontations of the film. Added to that was the suspense towards the end of the feature. The audience saw that not only did Rumlow survive the fight and was horribly scarred due to the situations in the film, but that once he learned that Hydra was almost completely and finally defeated, it would drive him to become an even more lethal threat to Captain America and the Avengers. As in Captain America: Civil War, released in 2016, had Brock Rumlow return as his alias of Crossbones, a villain adapted from the Captain America comics as mentioned, but in the film he was depicted as someone whom had a grudge against the Falcon and Captain America, as Rumlow decided to use Crossbones as his villain alias. However, during the incident in Lagos, and Rumlow now calling himself Crossbones as a vendetta against the Falcon and Captain America, he was quickly defeated by Captain America and actually used as a plot mechanism to make the Avengers into a threat, as Rumlow had a bomb strapped to him and tried to detonate it in a maneuver to which by killing Captain America in the blast radius. However, the blast was deflected by the Scarlet Witch. Rumlow's suicide attempt was used to further the plot mechanism for support for the Sokovia Accords, which was the main plot of the film. Upon critics and audiences' reactions to Civil War, the consensus on the demise of Brock Rumlow as a character and Crossbones as an evolution of Brock Rumlow even as a villain for Captain America or the Falcon within the Marvel Cinematic Universe was almost universally viewed as a waste of a character and unused potential with that character. Within the comics, Crossbones, or his alter alias, has been depicted as a repeated threat against Captain America and his allies. Even with the events of Avengers Endgame and the alternate time heist scenario, nothing much more were done in terms of Brock Rumlow or his alias of Crossbones, or even potential to be used in further features of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Fans and critics and even analysts had hoped there would have been something more out of this, but tragically there was not. But nothing of the sort was ever really presented or depicted within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as theorists have mentioned through online discussions that Captain America technically has few villains depicted within the Marvel Cinematic Universe's films through its first 4 phases. Frank Grillo, the actor who portrayed Brock Rumlow in the films, mentioned that he had originally had a multiple movie deal with Marvel and had expressed hope that more of his character would be seen at the time. But with Marvel leadership and the direction of the Captain America films and who or what is Captain America as a character, these hopes or intentions for Crossbones, Brock Rumlow, or anything of the sort would never be realized. Sometimes a character can be forgotten because they were depicted to be something, but later they weren't.